college football has completely lost its mind.
God.
Completely lost its mind. The sport is ridiculous. I'd be interested. I said when we do SportsCenter Thursday of this week, I want to talk to Reese because I feel like Reese is sort of the steward of the sport, statesman of the sport. Where I'm get unreasonable and loud, I feel like he's always measured and wise. I'm just interested in his opinion as a voice in the sport, but as a consumer of the sport, just where this all lands, because it's insane. We've been on here Saturday nights going back to September where we're thinking, man, that Virginia Tech and UCLA situation looked bad. Both guys out the next day. We talked about James. Florida situation, you kind of made it. You made it. I know you. You left a little Easter egg there. I don't know if this is going to last, even after Mississippi State. I mean, Penn State, Florida, and LSU are premier jobs. LSU, you talk to the folks in the know, and they'll tell you it's top what?
I think it's top 3.
Most agree. This would send the conversation spiraling on we're not doing lists of best jobs. LSU's on it. You have everything you need there. Didn't a wise man say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Couple.
Let's just say those that would know. So Florida, Penn State, LSU are there on top of Oklahoma State, Power 4 job.
Stanford.
Virginia Tech. Frank Reich, sort of steward of the program, along with Andrew Luck, et cetera. I mean, there's other gigs that are open, but it's the combination of NIL, which is funded in many cases by boosters, or at least it was, or where that goes from now, who knows, and the portal. It means that the idea that you are going to be given a bunch of runway to build your program up, recruit some guys, get them in there, red shirt them, beef them up like red, and then unleash them on the world as a junior, that's done. I mean, if I'm LSU and I spent millions in the portal, I'm supposed to win right now. And when you got a guy that was never a fit culturally and a guy that just as good a football coach as he's been, and you and I talked about the idea, there's a lot of piling on. That's what everybody does. They're just going to come over the top to try to clown Kelly. That's not what I'm doing, but I'm saying when all I hear from past players is that you didn't make and don't make an attempt to connect with them and build bonds, then people are going to toss you under the bus when you get run because you don't have any allies. You've got nobody that has a relationship with you. People will fight for you when they have a relationship, and they'll set the record straight for you when everyone else comes to pile on. They'll go, no, here's what you got wrong. All I hear are people going, he didn't talk to me for 2 years. That's bullshit. That's a failure of Brian Kelly's beyond the football. You got to figure that part out. He's won a ton of football games. And had he won enough, you know what the people in LSU wouldn't have given a shit about is his relationships with the people in the building because they'd have been happy. But they're not happy because they're not winning enough. They're spending millions in the portal. You're out. We're stroking a check for $50 million and we're on to the next. So's Florida. So's Penn State. Cool. You're just going to go to the great coach store and pick one up off the shelves? You live somewhere where it snows, where it's not supposed to, and they say it's going to snow on Thursday, and you go to the grocery store, and what does it look like? Not a whole lot to choose from. That's the coaching cupboard right now. And you have all those teams already who are shopping. It's insane, and it's not a sustainable model, this whole thing. I'm just interested in sort of how you view it.
There's no rules.
No.
That's a major problem. There's no one to police the rules.
Thank you. There are no laws and no police to enforce the laws that don't exist.
And I didn't live it, but I'm guessing that's what made the Wild Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a free-for-all. I mean, we're going to these places every week, and everyone has their story. We're just at Vanderbilt, and as buttoned up as it is, and then I'm looking at the rankings, and I'm like, like the only school you don't hear anything negative about is Ohio State just won a national championship.
And they wanted to fire their guy after they lost to Michigan.
Give it time. National championship and ranked number 1. Indiana, ranked number 2, undefeated. It's like, hey, we're here. A&M finally got a win that they've been begging for. What's really funny is I got caught in a couple text threads. Okay. Really fun stuff. We know how crazy A&M people can get.
Yeah.
But the idea of them trying to grasp now, like right now as we sit in week 10, week 11, we're in week 10. Alabama beating Vanderbilt at home is a better win than A&M going to LSU and winning.
And A&M's the model that people point to and go, they got Elko. That's true. And the same guy that hired Jimbo to A&M that they had to stroke the check for hired Kelly at LSU that they had to stroke the check for, and nobody blinks. And the thing that you and I talked about on the drive home from the airport about rich people is just because you got money doesn't mean you got sense or good taste. I've been to some rich folks' houses that I think, wow, this is elegant, opulent. And then I've been to some rich folks' places and I'm like, God, that's an ugly fucking couch. If I had that much money, I promise you one thing I wouldn't have is an ugly couch. Which is to say that just spending your cash because you got it doesn't ensure that you're going to make good decisions, particularly in a space where it's incredibly difficult to do it. Signetti and Elko are going to be everybody's fuel to go, fucking Indiana found a guy. Yeah, they did. And guess where they didn't look? In the usual places. Yeah. They went and got a guy from James Madison because that's who Indiana could get. But he's a hell of a football coach. And they're aligned, and Indiana's got deeper pockets than people might know. They're well-funded, they're well-coached, and they're number 2 in the country.
Yeah.
And A&M was willing to eat a giant number because that is a passionate, well-funded fan base that's never been this. So they got there. So now everyone else is in a race to try to convince themselves they can do it. My questions are just, who are you getting? And God bless Lane Kiffin. Good for him. He's going to get an astounding amount of money. But ask yourself this. Didn't James Franklin just get run for being what Lane Kiffin kind of hopes he is? What's Lane Kiffin's best win? Last week at Oklahoma? What's the biggest game he's coached in? This is a guy that got fired on the tarmac with USC. And we're all allowed to reinvent ourselves and all of this and that. And what he's done with the double-digit wins in Ole Miss, impressive. It's just incredible to think you're going to say that guy, with all these people falling all over themselves, could potentially become the highest-paid coach in the sport, and he's never coached in a championship game. And he can't coach all these places, which means some of you schools that decided we could do better are going to be left to introduce someone that your fan base is going to go, come again? It's okay. And it doesn't bother me. I just find it, I don't even know what the word is. It's not curious. It's not amazing. It's predictable, I guess. Because everybody's convinced. They look in the mirror and they see the most beautiful version of themselves. And they all believe. Florida's seen it. LSU's seen it. It's been a while for Penn State, but they believe it. We could be that. We can have that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you? I don't know. You know who's going to get some dough? Your guy Summerall.
Hey, you got to worry about UTSA this week.
Meep. Triangle of toughness. The best jobs, the best coaches in the recent hires. Freeman was there at Notre Dame. You saw it, right? You saw the way that people responded when he got introduced. I always remember that. Mm-hmm. Kelly left, and those guys went nuts to get him. That worked. Lanning, great coordinator at a great school. Kirby, great coordinator at a great school. Day, coordinator, great school.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know who the coordinator guys are at the jobs that are the next ones of those in the cycle. Perhaps some school will be really smart and do that. But if you're Penn State, Florida, LSU, can you introduce coordinator from a great school now and have it be enough?
Yeah, that's the magic question. Because I mean, we've talked about years past too. We haven't even factored in the NFL. We already got one gone. There's going to be moves made in that season.
And we have seen a number of coaches like, Hafley from BC that was like, I'll go be a coordinator in the NFL. Chip Kelly, coach at UCLA, I'll go be a coordinator at Ohio State. Now I'll go be a coordinator in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because there are no rules and because there is this carnage and chaos and turnover every single year, I don't care how much alignment and NIL that you've got, you're still going to have to redo your team every single year. I don't know how appealing that's going to be for guys that are in this space. But you know what? If someone drives the number up to $20 million, $15 million, my guess is someone will figure out a GM that handle my booster stuff for me, make sure my NIL's good, and I'll try to sort out the rest. But you're right about the NFL. Everyone says LSU call Joe Brady. Joe Brady's in Buffalo.
I won a Super Bowl.
Maybe the NFL is calling for him.
Yeah.
Maybe he looks back at what it is in college and goes, you know what? I can't do better than what we did with that Burrow Jefferson Chase team.
And Scott, that's my biggest takeaway, I think, is talking to these guys that have been in college and gone to the NFL. I'd say 90% are like, I'm good. I am good here. You talk, I mean, they are seeing things and talking to guys that are still down there, and they're talking about money and what they got to do to please players and trying to get players ready to play and who's talking to who. Like,
and
I'm good.
And you know that your guys who don't have contracts are being poached during the season.
Oh, yeah.
All season long. There's no honor among thieves at all. None. And the, 1,000-pound gorilla sitting here in the room. No, it's not Red. He's only 105. You work with a guy that everybody says just call him and make him say no. Think about the chairs on TV. Think about the guys that championship level coaches that go into TV. How many go back? I'm talking about plenty of guys come work for us that are coaches and then get back in coaching. I'm talking about Bill Cowher went to television. He's going to come back. His name got floated around for a few years. And then,
felt like a decade.
Brian Billick got into TV. People said he was going to come back. I'm not saying Nick won't. He's Nick Saban. If I were any of these schools that had the funds to do it, and apparently you all are sitting on bricks of gold, I'd certainly call him. But I think that the gig is far less stressful and probably way more fun. 3 hours on Saturday, I'm in and I'm out. You guys on game day, you just win every week when PR puts the ratings out. There's no L's. You guys don't take L's. So I can't imagine that would happen.
Oh.
There you go. But if I'm LSU, I'm like, hey, Nick. I can't imagine him doing that, though, just because of what he became at Alabama. And then the idea that you'd have to do that, I mean, that's WWE heel stuff that I can't see happening. Just as so many people that have talked about this in all the various college football spaces, just the number of candidates that would adequately address what these fan bases are thinking they should get and who they should be is insufficient.
Yeah.
But somebody could get their Elko or Signetti. But many of you, if you're in that Florida cycle since Urban, how many has it been? I mean, it's
5.
You get like, what is it, like Muschamp, McElwain, Mullen, Napier? I don't know if I have the order right. I think. And it's like going to college. You get a couple, 3 or 4 years, and they drop out and on to the next. And then you're right back at the same place. And then the jobs that will open as a result of people, let's just say Lane were to leave Ole Miss and go somewhere. Well, then Ole Miss is open. And then the dominoes that fall as a result of that. It's Somebody has to be in charge and figure something out as it relates to what are you allowed to do with the money. There's no salary cap. There's unlimited free agency. It's fucking insane. Just imagine the NFL with that. So wait, I can be a free agent after the season and then I can be a free agent after training camp? Yeah. And if I say I'm going to play for the Falcons for this much money, but then the Chargers offer me more, I could just, and then the Falcons are just out of luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Where do I sign up for that? Completely ridiculous. The whole thing. And everyone knows it and no one can fix it because there's no one in charge.
And you know what's even more nuts in college sports?
Than this? I don't.
The G League coming back for college. What is that?
I think once you're allowed to bring European pros that are men over, then guys in the G League, I don't know. I mean, somebody, the text or tweet making the rounds last week, Cam Reddish was coming back. One of our dumbass friends actually fell for it, but they fall for most of it.
No.
Yeah, no.
They know everything.
Well, and ironically, it was the guy that knows everything that sent that out. I said, you know that's not real, right? You understand he's playing overseas in Lithuania? No? You thought that was real? But the premise is correct. The idea that can happen. So wait, I've just gone and been a pro, but now I can... Yeah, it's fine. Because what? Why? There are no rules of any kind.
I just love seeing Bill Self, Kelvin Sampson, and Izzo talking about it. Just absolutely as irate as you could get. And just, whatever, old school, whatever you want to say. But like this new, I'm like, this is really happening.
Yes. You see I follow the recruiting, and I saw that the other day. I think Louisville got one.
Yeah.
And if you're not out there recruiting the G League now, what are you doing? Because there's no rules.
No.